She lost everything. Until he rode into town. Margaret hadn't slept a full night in 6 months. Not since the day they brought Thomas home, draped across his own horse, his boots still muddy from the east pasture. The ranch, the cattle, the debt, all of it landed on her shoulders like a sky full of stone. Her neighbors whispered she'd fold before winter. Maybe they were right. Then one gray Tuesday morning, a stranger rode through the gate. He didn't ask for much, just water for his horse and a place to rest. But when he saw the broken fence line, the scattered herd, the barn door hanging off its hinge, he didn't ride on. He rolled up his sleeves instead. Nobody knew his name at first. He just worked. Dawn to dusk, side by side with Margaret, mending what was broken. Fence posts driven deep into cracked earth. Cattle herded back from the ridge under a punishing sun. Hay bales thrown, fields plowed, hands bleeding and calloused by the end of every single day. And through it all, not a word of complaint. Just quiet, steady, dependable strength. Something Margaret hadn't felt around her in a very long time. Then the storm came. The kind of storm that makes grown men pray. Black clouds swallowed the valley whole. Wind screamed through every crack in the barn walls. The cattle panicked, the fences buckled, and the roof of the old tool shed tore away like paper. Margaret ran into the chaos. He was already there. Together they fought through the mud and the fury, pulling animals to safety, lashing down gates, holding the line against everything nature threw at them. When it finally passed, and they stood there drenched and breathless in the wreckage, something had shifted between them, something that had no words yet, but both of them could feel it. That night by the fire, he finally told her his name. Cole. Just Cole. A man running from a past he wouldn't name, who had somehow stumbled into a future he never expected. Margaret looked at him across the firelight and said quietly, "You don't have to keep running, you know." He didn't answer right away. He just looked around at the ranch, at the land he had bled for, at the woman who had stood her ground through grief that would have crushed anyone else. And something inside him went still for the first time in years. Cole stayed, not because he had nowhere else to go, but because for the first time in a long time, somewhere finally felt like home. And Margaret, who had lost everything, her husband, her hope, her faith that things could ever be whole again, discovered that life had quietly, stubbornly decided to give her something back. Sometimes the people we never expected are exactly the ones we needed all along.